Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Chant and be happy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. From the highest to the lowest vibrations, realize and actualize the sacred formulas that you use. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Consider the overall castes in this life and the next. Not just the label of economic or social groups, but, the overall picture, including spirituality most of all, because that's the complete picture. Well, if a person has no spirituality, then, again, that points out the complete picture. There, in a different way of saying the word, there should be a unity of mastership. Don't take this master and that master and that, any master of any sort that should be regarded, it should be, a unity of purpose and not conflicting in the forms. What is the master? Humans can be programmed towards degrading life being enjoyed. It is not that a person can invent their own yoga, the right-hand path, tantra, the left-hand path, or path to knowledge, but we need to find it as it has been purely transmitted. And if there's fragments, and that's what we have, well, among paths that aren't pure paths, well, that's what we're supposed to have too. And we can confirm the pure paths through the fact that these things exist in the ones that aren't. Seclusion and repetition is only part of the process, and it may not end beyond the surface disturbances. The surface beyond the disturbances beyond the surface. That's why, for example, in Salah, there's at least 33 pieces of advice on how to practice and experience the prayer other than just repeat it, do it, which that in itself has a merit, but and any other sound ritual or practice, It is not our job to justify our ascendants, nor our descendants, but to please God and to alleviate the sorrow of identifying as the senses or mind. And this goes with others. If we can encourage this in others, sympathetic or contagious magic works, but go beyond that in a way not clinging to material results, nor taking intercessors. Civilization, or true social system, is in work order, steps in life, spiritual practices after waking, before sleep, and in between, such as eating. Spiritual masters are supposed to fast. And they're supposed to direct what fast and alms are for. And when they're supposed to, they're supposed to be able to do that. Charities are supposed to be treated as God's property. Charity and consuming shouldn't be degraded into either for sensuality nor secularism in general. Religion is not to be named after or identified with a body, nation, or race. So Hinduism and Buddhism and Christianity and Judaism and, these are wrongful titles for religion. It is not so much that we impose an ethnic way, but that we practice God consciousness and spread religion beyond lower magical goals. We are beings beyond time. No thing will be lost of the spiritual consciousness and deeds that we built up for ourselves. True sacred scripture is as a direct manifestation of God, a miracle of the highest order. The Vatsaruranucharair Mahamakhonanayudyer Vamanakair Udayundaya Pingaya Hisangaya Makarodaranaya Paryadravabir Viduranvarudyata. With a extreme quickness, those followers of the mode in the arena of the great sacrifice were there with various kinds of weapons, and they were short-statured beings, like so many of the jinn are, upraised, blackish, made of something more subtle than the blackness of this worldly fire that we know. Yellowish, representing, sort of a starkness, a taking away, because most yellow is the dying of plants, not so much the flowers. With bellies and faces like sharks, running all around. Vidura was surrounded, and that's one of the things. The fierce forms taken upon by either jinn ready to have their effect, or by others, beings of punishment, as you could say. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, God of light, all-enjoying. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The potency of the all-attractive God of sound. Now, some things are implied in each of these things that people would say, oh, it's like, well, context, right? The darkness, the lack of vidur, the deepness, or the warmness. Vibrations. God is known through vibrations. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.